Good morning, Frederick. It's a beautiful Tuesday, April 23rd. I'm your host, Dani Gurry. A couple people have asked me recently, what's the easiest place to view The Daily Show? And the answer is YouTube. Go to the Everything Frederick Live YouTube channel, click subscribe, and make sure you click the bell to get your notifications every time we go live or post new content. It is simply the easiest way. And Everything Frederick Live is the overarching channel that will host all the content about Frederick. Good Morning Frederick is simply the first show, but there are more in the works. And if you have an idea for a show you want to do, please reach out. It is an absolutely packed show today. You're going to hear from Marla at Migdal Consulting. She specializes in dyslexia and helps parents navigate the FCPS IEP. Barbara Swanhart, Executive Director from Second Chances Garage, asks for your help. Joe and Sharon Volpe talk about the future they're creating for their family. And I debut a video produced by the students at FCPS's Career and Technology Center, CTC. Also, today, more giveaways. The Volpes, who you're going to meet later, are giving a Good Morning Frederick t-shirt, just like the one I'm wearing. Can't really see it, but they're great. Plus $25 gift certificate for window tinting is added to the mix this week. We still have the month-long pass for SOS Safe Ride in May. If you know of a young person that could use some free rides home from being out and wants their car to come home with them, that's what SOS Safe Ride does. Free for the entire month of May. That's a pretty good deal. Plus, I've got 4-pack of tickets to see the Frederick Flying Cows play Friday, April 26th at 7 p.m. It's the whiteout game, so wear your white for that. I want to thank the sponsor of the program, Foxtree Designs, who printed my swag, sweatshirts, t-shirts, and stickers. As well, they do full color lettering for signs, banners, labels. They do cool roll labels now. And they can do your car, too, if you want vinyl on your car. FoxtreeDesigns.com. All right, let's get it started. Weather today, forecast looks pretty perfect, mostly sunny, high of 74. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high of 72. Thursday and Friday in the mid to upper 60s. I'm not liking going back to the cold. I'm wearing my jumper because it's freezing in my house right now. Saturday, cool with some morning showers. A high of 67 should be fine for Battle of the Bands. But Sunday and Monday, wow. High of 83 Sunday and 87 Monday. That looks like the day maybe to hang out at home if you can. All right, this is Market Makers. All right, this mom was a special education teacher with a master's degree. And when her kids were struggling with school, she found a huge gap in the school system. I want you to meet Marla from Migdal Consulting. The greatest things about doing Good Morning Frederick is being introduced to new businesses. Actually, being in this community for as long as I have, I'm still shocked to learn that there are thousands of businesses and nonprofits I haven't met yet. And this is one. Migdal Consulting. Marla, I'm so excited to learn about what you do because you've had some advocates online who said you must get her on the show. And so I'm excited to hear how you help the community.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your specialty. I think I was reading you deal specifically in dyslexia.
Yeah, so I'm a dyslexic specialist. I'm certified by the Center for Effective Reading Instruction. But originally, this business came from, I was a parent. I'm a parent of a child that was struggling in Frederick County Public Schools. I actually had 2 struggling, and I didn't know what to do. I was an educator. I was a special education teacher, and I realized that there was not support in education to work with this type of learner, this diverse learner. And so through advocacy and learning on my own, I realized with the help of my own children, I realized there was a greater need within the community. And so I originally was never planning on starting a business. That wasn't on my to-do list, but there was such a need to help. And so I first started volunteering and working with a grassroots organization and learning as much as I could about dyslexia. And then I would volunteer time to help families in Frederick County. And then it started during the pandemic. We realized there was such a need that was beyond just this county. So reluctantly, I decided, okay, let's become a business. And now I have tutors, and we tutor virtually. And then I consult and go into IEP meetings, not just in Frederick County, majority in Frederick County, and but I go across the country as well. I was just in Florida the other day, so.
Wow, that is incredible. Well, I guess I'm kind of disheartened and excited for you, but it's crazy because dyslexia has been around for so long, and the fact that there was this huge gap for your children that you found is a little scary, actually.
Yeah, it was surprising. You really couldn't even say dyslexia. Frederick County actually over 20 years ago had a program, and then with the new turnaround, they threw it out. I was just so distraught that, my son at the time was 4 or 5 years below grade level, and I thought, oh my gosh, and so I identify with my clients because I am one of my clients.
Yeah.
In that sense, I know what they're going through. And so I've sat in that IEP meeting. I've sat in the special education seat. I sat as the distraught parent. And now I'm sitting as the, consultant. And our county has turned, it was rough in the beginning. It was a rough ride. And our county, because of the advocacy of parents like me and educators, they're responding, and so you can see a difference between our county and other counties, but it took years compared to other counties. The teachers, they have a better understanding. They're more open to hearing suggestions and collaboration, which is how I want it to be. It's the parent who I support. It should be the most important person in that room. And so when I come in, sometimes I have to interpret what's going on because you're in a room and there's 7 other adults around, and it's very intimidating for the parents. And so, I walk in and I'll stop a meeting and say, oh, this is what this means. Because and I've sat in the other seat, and I'm like, it's going over the person's head. I need to explain this so they understand what you're asking them. So sometimes I'm a little bit of an interpreter, and it's just, I just wanted to create a business of what I didn't have.
That's exactly how successful business is built, right? You see a gap in the market and a need, and you've obviously worked to help it. So how many years have you been, when did you start your business?
So I started my business, this will be my 4th year.
Okay.
Getting a 4th just. So we're on the newer side. And it really, I contract with school systems. So that's why originally one of the school systems said, well, you need to be a business in Maryland and be official. And I said, okay. And I actually now am a business in New Jersey because we're contracting with a New Jersey school. And so now I had to register in another state as well. So, and with virtual, the business has grown. So now we have some in-person tutors, but we have some virtual tutors as well. And so we are serving a lot of, students where they might not be in Frederick County. Some are still, where they want that extra support. And we work with kids with dysgraphia and dyslexia, and we do some writing as well with reading. We mainly tutor using Bauman, Orton Gillingham Plus. It's a wonderful program. And
I have no idea what that means, but I'm sure if you have a child with dyslexia.
What it means is it's a multi-sensory program that's explicit, and it really works at that foundation. So most dyslexics are missing that foundation. And so in order to build that level to be a proficient reader, many of the students are missing that base. Like if you're building a house, you have to have a strong, foundation.
Yeah.
So that's what
Yeah.
we go back to, and we do in a way that we use all their senses. So because a lot of times the memory, like it needs all the senses.
The studies over the years have been that, many kids learn so many different ways, but certainly the more things you can activate in your brain when you're learning something, the better chance you have of retaining that information. And,
Yeah.
I think there have been studies about like the fidget things and chewing gum and doing things that'll trigger that memory of what you're
Yes.
learning. So that's amazing.
With dyslexia, and that's the thing I consult with, as I explain, this is what's happening. These are the characteristics. So when schools can identify, they can't diagnose, but they can identify those characteristics. And that's what's changed over the years. And so there's been a lot more really fruitful conversations about what dyslexia is, what it's not. It's not based on intelligence. And so, it's a high percentage of students that have dyslexia. And a lot of the times the parents say, oh, I have that too, but I wasn't, and so,
Right.
and in many of my clients, they really can't read. So I have to really interpret, and I have to be very sensitive about it, because they'll get an email and they'll send it to me, and the school system doesn't understand it's genetic, So I'm saying, you need to share the information with me. Please put me on the email. The parent gave consent because they are not interpreting the information, and they need support as well. So there's a lot of my clients are as well, whether it's the father or the mother, there's a strong genetic connection. Rarely is it just out of the blue. Usually it's someone's grandfather. Maybe they weren't identified and they said, oh, they left school early, and they're great at they're great at building things, or they own their own business. A lot of dyslexics own their own businesses, and they have their own path they create, because the school system is difficult to maneuver when you have these learning challenges.
How much time between advocating for your children and starting this business, how much time passed?
About 2 years.
Okay.
I had to really, I was almost doing stuff at the same time. I went back to school also to get my certificate. I needed to have the credentials to be able to back up what I was saying, even though I was already had a master's in special education. Now they are assessing students in kindergarten for characteristics. And so, but there wasn't policies to kind of really support this, because we need to identify them early. My son now, he's a freshman in college. It's still a struggle. He was not identified early. We are privileged that we were able to support him, but many parents, they don't have the funds. They don't have that. So that's why we advocated for it in the school.
How do people get to you? Is it when the school kind of says, okay, this is now something we have to do? How do they get to you?
So there's two ways it can go. So some parents are saying something's not right. I've gone to the school. Parents can go through my website and contact me. We're able to do some informal educational assessments, and we're able to see exactly what skills are, like I said about that foundation. And we can, we're a little nerdy, and we like to look at error analysis.
Love that.
We get down to the nitty gritty. Like we get down to, wow, you know what? They really like to add the L sound to this certain word. Like we're able to pinpoint exactly. Well, the first reaction of the parent is, I should have known. And I always say, I had a master's in special education. I didn't know.
You have really sat in every position, so you truly do understand the whole process.
Yeah, and I even understand the side of the school. So some of my clients, we just do consulting, and some of them are just tutoring, and some are all.
I can only imagine the relief that these parents must feel, that not only have they identified, again, with your children, that would be so stressful. So to know that somebody is advocating for them, their child, and the child is getting the help they need to be successful in life. That's all we want as parents. So exactly. I think what you're doing is really, really fascinating and excellent. And I'm sorry you have to exist, but I'm glad you're there.
When your children are 4 and 5 years below grade level, it impacts them holistically. Like it's just,
Oh,
and
of
I
course.
didn't want any other parent to go through what I went through.
Yes, no, I appreciate that. Well, this was fascinating. I'm definitely going to reach back out to you in a couple of months, and maybe we can kind of do some little slice recaps, because I do think this is so vital for parents. When
Yeah.
if you see something, you know something is wrong with your child, or that they're not, kind of up to par with other kids their age. You never know what it could be, and dyslexia or some other issues could be the underlying. And we're
Yeah.
so happy you're out there for the parents and the kids, not only of Frederick, but around the country, which is really exciting.
Very exciting, very exciting. And I really was just an educator, so the whole business it's been I've had an education in business. It's been very interesting, a lot of supportive people, but it's been a interesting learning experience running a business.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. All right, we really appreciate it. Marla, Migdal Consulting. Please reach out to her if you may have a friend who's been talking about issues with their own children. Please send them to her, and hopefully get everything sorted out. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I mean, that interview, to be honest, was, I think, probably 25 minutes. I was just so stunned that, again, she is a very bright woman, master's degree in education, and didn't even realize. And the school system, though getting better, is tough to navigate as a parent. So imagine if you're not a master's degree holder in special education, how it is to deal with. And she talked about all kinds of things during the IEPs, what happens to parents, and she actually goes to those meetings with those parents and helps them. So she is just fascinating. But anyway, I've worked with the students of CTC's TV and Media Department for several years, actually. I've used them to film things and help me at different events. They are so talented and the up-and-comers. So when I decided to do this program, I reached out to see if they wanted to submit some segments, and they did. Let's go. People of Frederick is sponsored by We Help You Move, whether you're moving across the street or across the country. Nicholas and his team of moving experts can make the whole thing easy, veteran-owned, and a supporter of the Frederick community. Alexandra Ramos introduces us to career coach Brenna Edmonds, and we find out how FCPS is supporting women in the trades.
Hi, Everything Frederick. I'm Alexandra Ramos, and I'm here today with Miss Edmonds.
Hi.
A career coach at the Frederick CTC. Was there always a career coach at the CTC?
There actually wasn't. This is our first year in middle schools and high schools. We're part of the Maryland Blueprint for Education, and it's a 3-year piloted program.
Mm-hmm. So what does a career coach do? What are some of your responsibilities?
So we are an extension of the counseling department, and we're here to help build relationships with students to help them figure out what their goals are and what their plan is for after high school. So whether that is, job shadowing, practice interviewing, resumes, linking up with guest speakers to come in to get more exposure to different things that are in the workforce.
Right. What kind of advice do you give to kids asking for advice with job interviews?
So I do a lot of one-on-one counseling. That's pretty much a lot of what I do, especially with students who don't know what they want to do after they graduate high school. I work a lot on just what their interests are and what they're good at and finding their strengths. We take a lot of personality assessments, and in any job you'll learn what you like and what you don't like. So even if it's a fast food restaurant, you'll learn some skills that you need.
Right.
But these days, companies are really just looking for soft skills and finding what skills each student has and helping them guide what they prefer.
What inspired you to become a career coach?
So I actually was a high school math teacher for 7 years. So I just quit last year, and I was looking for something that was still within the education field, and this is a whole new position, like I mentioned. So
Right.
I was interested to starting a new program reaching students.
You mentioned personality tests. Are there different types of like assessments and tools and techniques you use to identify a student's strength?
A lot of the other techniques is just getting to know the student and finding out what they do in their free time, because what people do in their free time is a lot. You want to make sure your work is something that you enjoy, and not get burnt out. You know, we have this idea of like you have to pick what you want to do for the rest of your life, and these days that's just not true. You know, so you don't have to necessarily go into college, and finding different apprenticeships or internships, job shadowing, all those types of things help with that.
Okay, so not only are you like a regular career coach for any kind of job, you also specialize in women in trades and those kind of industries in there. Are there certain kinds of scholarships, grants, and financial aid opportunities specifically available for women in trade?
Yes, so Women in Trades is this organization, this movement that we're trying to create in specifically Frederick, that not only just students, but all women. And so there are a lot of companies that really would like to have that women presence. And so there, from all different organizations, there's a bunch of scholarships, whether it's to help you pay for boots that you need or like a certification. So the specifics, you'll have to come see me and find out. But there are a lot of organizations just ready to help these women.
How does Women in Trades, the program, but also the CTC, address any financial challenges, or financial or like physical challenges any woman may face entering the industries of like trade? Yeah,
so just talking to some of the women that are in trades, especially like the students here at CTC, there's a lot, they have to overcome a lot of barriers, and it's a little uncomfortable being the only female within like a tech shop. So really trying to build a support system is the main goal of Women in Trades, is so that they have the confidence, they have the leadership skills, so that they can feel more successful going into something that is a field that is in desperate need of work.
How do you address issues of diversity, equity, and inclusion in your coaching practices?
So I am a big advocate for we are all human, and I really work hard to make everyone feel comfortable no matter where they are. I meet the student where they are, no matter what type of struggles or differences that they may face. I really try and make sure that they feel comfortable and safe with me, so that we can work together to build something. I'm really just a cheerleader or like someone to help find your way, because after high school it's really scary sometimes to leave what you've been in your whole life and enter that workforce. So helping just build those skills and confidence with these students, so that they are proud of the differences that they have and that they can bring to different organizations.
As a closing question, what about this job particularly makes it so gratifying? Like, what makes you coming back to be like a career coach?
I have to say the students. Honestly, you all mean so much to me, and it's really cool to see how you guys grow and become successful. So that's really what keeps me in this job.
Thank you so much for talking with us today.
All right, we want to thank Adam Frank and the students of CTC's TV and Multimedia Department. Looking forward to more content from them. After the break, we hear from Second Chance's Garage and the Volpes right after this.
Elevate your next party with Dreamscape Slumber Events. Over 12 themes and customization available for kids, teens, and adults to enjoy. Don't have the space? We have solutions for that too. Search Dreamscape Slumber Events on Facebook.
And don't forget to use that promo code PROMOCIRCUS to save $25 off your Dreamscape Slumber event. All right, we're doing good. I spent almost 25 minutes with the Volpes, and cutting it down to 10 was tough. They do so much to give back to the Frederick community, which is why I'm including them in the Doing Good in the Neighborhood segment. Supporting their businesses means they can continue to support the community at large. Here are Sharon and Joe Volpe. I'm here with Sharon and Joe Volpe of many businesses here in Frederick, but two main ones, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we got Frederick Window Tinting, amazing. You've been tinting for
16 years now.
16 years. And then you guys got into doing some videos and have done incredible videos for clients. You know, I think we met
It was in the beginning of Shop Local.
Yeah.
In the beginning of COVID.
right?
Right in the beginning of 2020.
Yeah. Okay. And then you guys started a group, Shop Local Frederick, and you were really focused on
Any kind of business. Any entrepreneur who set out to work for themselves and create a better life for themselves and their family.
Yeah, and that's what you guys have really, really done. Kind of take us back to right before you guys opened here in Frederick with the tint shop.
So, funny story enough, within 1 week, we moved, had a baby, and started full-time as ourselves tinting.
Yeah, well, knowing you two, that does not surprise me in the least, actually.
We make
not
moves.
even a little, I'm not even a little surprised. There's no even like, oh my gosh, because
We make moves.
you do make moves. And I think one of the things I really love about you guys, and I don't mean this in a derogatory sense, but you're hustlers. Like, you really look at what is in the market and you try to fill it to help businesses. And what I love about you is that your heart is always in the place of helping businesses of every size. Really support the community on the greater side, because you moved here and just really embraced Frederick, and I feel like hopefully Frederick has embraced you guys back.
After we moved back from Georgia, and Joey was Lexi's age, 3 or 4 years old, and we were living with my parents. After he got out of the military, we moved back home with them to find jobs, get on our feet and whatnot. And I would cry to my parents like I didn't have a baby to be at work and see him, 10 minutes before I left for work in the morning, and then bath time at nighttime. Like, we never saw Joey, but I was like, I can't justify being a stay-at-home mom while living at my parents' house.
Yeah.
So knowing how we started and what it took to get started, if there's something that we can do to motivate or help another local business, then knowing the life that we've built, I want to help other people embrace the same passion, because it's a different kind of lifestyle. Not everybody can do it, but I wouldn't change it for anything.
One thing is we're proof that it's possible.
Yeah.
If nothing else.
Yeah.
It's possible.
We came from working like $10 an hour jobs. I was working for $10 an hour. He was working for $14 an hour. And obviously this was back in 2010, 2011, but and money's different now, but we didn't have a bankroll. We didn't have parents that gave us tens of thousands of dollars to start. We did it all on our own.
Yeah. Well, another thing that I love about you guys is this is truly a family affair, right?
Oh, yeah.
So your kids are a real integral part of it. They're not just the fact that you homeschool them and they're here in the business. They do work in the business. Your son especially. He's watched
smarter than
him.
I am.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to say yes to that. I just mean he's
To
learned
no credit of my own. He's done that all himself.
Well,
He can hold his own. At
he really
15,
can.
He can really hold his own.
Well, and just I've noticed just such a difference in his growth over the past 4 years. Just in he really is a part of this business now, and he's excited
vital at
about
this point.
the
Tell
passionate.
him, it was
All the
crazy.
kids are great, and I think that having them a part of this is really, again, anytime you can show your children that you can do this sort of thing. And so Frederick Window Tinting was rolling along beautifully. I think you were just tinting by yourself, right?
was.
Yeah. Okay. And
was.
then you brought in somebody.
Our best friend Dani.
Okay.
Dani with a Y.
Yeah, Dani with a Y.
He was,
Dani, not
he was
me.
in retail for 17 years, and
Like retail, like in a.
he was-
Bed Bath and
Oh.
Beyond
Oh.
before they
he was a
closed.
manager here
Okay.
in Frederick, and that obviously before they had shut that down, he was interested in just kind of changing career paths.
Yeah.
And we had known him for years, and we said, you know, he showed interest in tint in general, so we invited him in, and he's been family before, and
Yeah,
of course,
even
it's still
now.
family.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He's
one of the best
fantastic.
decisions
Yeah.
ever made, which freed me up to then
Right.
kind of
Start something else.
Find, yeah.
Yeah.
So find other things. So you brought in Dani to kind of manage the tinting that you had really built so well over a few years, and then you decided to open.
Then it was Lights Camera Local.
Right.
Yeah,
Main
it was a
course
combination
media.
Of, yeah,
Right.
basically
Anything he could-
digital media stuff. Anything
Right.
with a camera and a computer, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
So we kind of went down that realm of helping restaurants on the digital side,
Yes.
and then we partnered into a restaurant.
Yes.
Still owners of Wing and Pizza Shack with Bradley and
Yeah.
Brunswick, and then now Foxtree.
Now Foxtree.
Which
Well,
is-
Foxtree, I believe, is kind of the culminant. You know, everything. You guys just keep adding these little.
Complementary
Yes, they're all
businesses, yeah.
complementary, right? It's providing now, instead of just for restaurants, you're opening yourselves up to all sorts of printing, signage and shirts. And are you still doing
Stickers.
embroidery?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Embroidery.
Machine's right, yeah.
Okay, embroidery.
shows up in-
stickers. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, right.
Yeah. Stickers and
I don't think we could do it though if they weren't connected like that.
Yeah.
It would
Oh,
be
yeah.
very, very hard, and we'd be stretched so thin if these were in separate locations.
Oh,
With the
for
fact
sure.
that we have 3 units in one business park,
Yeah.
and then the restaurant in Brunswick, it's only 20 minutes. You know.
yeah.
And Bradley
Way-
holds down that fort.
and, yeah,
Every
he's-
door chime you hear is our kids running between the 3 units.
In and out, in and out.
So, but yeah, one of our friends actually had this unit that we're sitting in, and they outgrew it and moved across town. And Joe said to me, as soon as they leave, he said, "Tell the landlord I want this spot." And I was like, "Well, what are we going to do with it?" He goes, "I don't know yet, but tell him that I want it and just
Too
trust me."
convenient being the
Right.
tint shop in the middle, the media production company here, and then on this unit on the left side of the tint shop was now the print media.
Yeah.
You know.
But we didn't know that when we signed the lease. Our
No.
landlord asked, like, "What are you going to do?" And I was like, I don't know, but my
Because
husband said
originally
trust him,
We're
so
gonna separate because we do
Yeah.
photo and video 2 doors down.
Yes.
And I wanted to separate the 2 and kind of bring photo over here and video over there. But we got in here and we needed signs out front, and I was like, well, I don't really feel like paying for signs.
I love this.
So let's just buy a printer and we'll do it ourselves.
Yeah.
It's literally the word. It was gonna be like, I think $2,000 for 2 signs.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't want to spend $2,000 on signs one time.
well, if
I'd
we
rather invest
backtrack,
money.
if we backtrack and go back to the story about starting Frederick Window Tinting, moving, and Trinity being born, it was similar because we got the space on June 1st. His birthday was June 2nd, the following day, and we went to the company in Laurel
Yep.
to look at the machines. And he knows how I am. I'm pretty frugal in that aspect. And he was like, "Please just be along for the ride and just trust me." And so we started, and then it just kind of snowballed with the services we would offer based on the machines that came in, and it just
Yeah.
kind of, things grew, our team shrank, it grew, and
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster, but it's been fun. That's
Yeah.
but that's how we do things.
That is, well, again, I think some of the machines that you've added is because people have said, "Oh, can you do this?"
Right.
And then you guys have said, "Sure, we can."
Literally,
give
that's
us a couple
literally
weeks.
our latest purchase.
If this flips around, one of our good friends owns a restaurant mile or 2 down the road. He said, "Do you offer labels?" And we said, "We don't,
yet."
but you know what? I'm okay looking into it as a service." And I said to Joe, I looked into a label printer. They're $500 on Amazon. Let's get a better one. That's a commercial one. Spend $2,000 or $3,000. And then 15-year-old Joey says, "What's the top of your budget, Mom?" And I said, "Well, how about $4,000? That'll include like the ink, the labels, and
Yeah.
if taxes, all of that." And next thing I know, a day later, they're like, "Okay, here's this machine coming. It's 3 times your budget, but We have one. And so we have our first
They
pack
know
of labels.
you too well,
Quite
number
literally
one. And
what
number
happened.
two,
Our first
yeah.
pack of labels got printed. Joey set everything up, and it's ready to go to our friend. And so if anybody needs labels, but they do come like
They're
rolled
on a
up.
spool, yeah.
Yeah.
So you
Normal
can get
sticker labels.
500 to 5,000 labels. If it's a restaurant and you want to label like to-go packages, like what everything
Right.
is, or if you want labels to seal a bag for
Pricing
DoorDash
stuff,
or Uber.
All different kinds of
Oh,
labels.
great idea. Okay, awesome.
So please get
HVAC
labels.
companies with labels they need to write
Right
on
up.
service
Oh.
tickets, all different kinds of labels.
Great,
packaging.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you see, this is exactly what happened. is
We
you-
see a demand and we try
Yeah.
to fill it.
Yeah.
And, we're risk takers by nature. So
Yeah.
Some more than
So,
others.
yeah.
some more than others.
Some
usually this guy.
riskier than others.
It's a good relationship
You're
though,
a good
because
balance. You're a good
Yes.
balance for sure.
Yeah, she holds the reins from going too crazy.
Yeah. Well, I think Sharon's role in all of this is that once you do commit, she just works to make sure
Yes.
you fill it and you have that more orders coming in. And I think you're quite good at doing that.
he's just the guy in the back that does the
Yeah,
work.
He is the guy,
guy
in the back doing the
That's
work.
all I've ever
The way
done.
he likes it.
Guy in the back.
The way he likes it. What's been your most proud accomplishment over the past few
Go
years?
ahead on that one. I took the struggle. Now you take the.
Business related or family related?
Could be whatever over the past few years.
Proud moment seeing our 15-year-old just naturally fall into where he wants to be in a career path, essentially.
discovering
Finding a
passion
passion,
is,
yes. That's all we ever want for our kids, right?
Yeah.
That they really truly find something
in
they're
what they're
passionate
doing.
about that can actually make them a living.
We
Can-
embrace when they show interest.
Yeah.
We don't force,
Sure.
hey, you have to do this.
Right.
They've shown interest in this,
Yeah.
we're going to embrace that and
Yeah.
enable that to come to fruition, even if it doesn't transpire into anything.
Yeah.
He's to
Well,
have
his skills
passion.
on video editing
Oh, it's
and
killer.
design and printing and installation, I'm just floored over the last few years.
If it's a camera or a computer, he is
He's on it.
generally all about it.
yeah.
He's done some photo and video work, and people are astonished that he was 14, 15 at the time.
I can
And
attest to that.
He can hold his own with people twice his age,
Oh.
and you would never know.
Yeah, age has nothing to do with it. It
Yeah.
definitely, you can tell he has a
passion's
passion
there.
for it, and he's very attention to detail. And
Oh, absolutely.
Oh goodness, yeah. What about business wise? Like where, what do you think for the next year? You have any particular goals you're trying to meet, or?
I don't think we'll be starting any new endeavors in 2024.
Just
I think perfecting what we've got going on at
Yes.
Foxtree and
Honing
kind
it
of
in and
growing.
yes.
Just growing Foxtree, holding our own with the other local, supporting businesses, and maybe branching outside of Frederick as far as our reach.
For people who are starting a business now and looking into it, what would be your one or two pieces of advice?
Don't give up. If it gets hard, if it gets challenging, don't give up. Just take a nap, go to bed, and try at it the next day.
Anything you would do differently?
I know it sounds cliche, but everything we've done up until now
led.
has led us to where we're at.
We want to thank
She's doing a
Sharon
split.
and Joe and Lexi
Maybe.
and Chick-fil-A. Check them out, foxtreedesigns.com, frederickwindowtinting.com. Support local. And Lexi's little pop-up head at the very end of that. It's fantastic. I want to thank the Volpes. First of all, they've just been great partners. They have supported everything I've ever done. And they're great people to work with. So if you ever need anything, go talk to them. If they don't do it, they might just start it. And if they don't, they'll know somebody who does. All right, after the break, we're going to hear from Second Chances Garage, and we're going to talk about what's happening in Frederick.
All-in-One Events is Frederick's #1 source for event rentals and entertainment. Please visit us on the web at www.aioeventgroup.com or call 1-888-727-8902 for more information.
All right, we want to thank them for the sponsorship, and also A&S Construction, a local and award-winning woman and minority-owned business located right here in Frederick. They specialize in roofing, siding, windows, gutters, patios, and decks. Call 301-703-2157 or email info@ansconstruction.net. Be sure to ask Sandra about the special offer for Good Morning Frederick viewers, $750 off any roof or siding replacement, or $50 off any roof repairs that you schedule before April 30th. So, time is coming up. You have about a week left. If you're thinking about just having somebody come out and look at your roof, give Sandra a call and let her know that I sent you. All right, tons is happening in Frederick. We want to thank Taco Bar. It's Taco Tuesday. Get 20% off your 3 tacos at West Point Plaza on Route 40 at Taco Bar. Taco Tuesday, you can get steak, chicken, al pastor, carnitas, fish, and more. They give you everything you need, and then you go to the bar and you add whatever else you want on it. It's really excellent. And I'm still got to get over there and try out the beef tongue and the small intestine tacos, which Raul promises me are excellent, especially if you get them extra crispy. Second Chance's Garage is at Old Mother tonight from 4 to 8 p.m. and a percentage of sales will be donated. Let's hear from Executive Director Barbara Swanhart about this organization. The nonprofits in Frederick County number many, but there are some that are very close to my heart. Second Chance's Garage is one of those, and I happen to be on the board of directors, but that's not why it is very fond to me. I'm here with Barbara Swanhart. She's the executive director of Second Chance's Garage, and we're here to talk specifically about an event that's coming up later today to help us raise funds. But Barbara, tell me, why is it so important for Second Chance's Garage to raise funds? Who are we helping?
Thank you so much for having me, Dani. I just like to have people think what it would be like not to have a car that they want to, go to the grocery store. They want to have their children attend after school activities, get to work, go to doctor's appointments. Imagine what that would be like if you had to do all those things on a daily basis and you don't have a car. And believe it or not, there are many people in our community who are experiencing that right now. They don't have a vehicle just to do what we typically take for granted, running everyday errands. So we are an organization that's here to help people like that.
Yes, for sure. And, just so you know out there, if you're watching, Second Chance's Garage works with local partner organizations. So we're not just handing out cars to anyone and everyone. It's called the Alice Report, right? And
they are the Alice guidelines.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
Asset limited, income compromised, employed, meaning
Right.
They are hardworking individuals. They're employed, but at the end of the week, they are, we're paycheck to paycheck.
Right. And so you've probably heard a lot about Alice families here in Frederick because a number of organizations try to work with that group of people, right? These are your neighbors. These are people in your communities. And, they just don't have the transportation that they need, which, could affect their ability to work or their kids to go to school or things like that. So Second Chance's Garage is, one of the organizations that focuses on that. Barbara, tell everyone a little bit on how kind of we get the people that we actually put in cars.
Absolutely. As Dani, as you stated at the beginning, we are a nonprofit 501c3 in Frederick, but we work with partner agencies, and those agencies are also nonprofits in our community, everything from veterans organizations to domestic abuse organizations to some of the rehabilitation centers here in Frederick. We work with some of the government agencies. When they have an individual that they're working with that is meeting all the standards that they need to meet in whichever program that they are in. And the only thing holding them back from reaching that next level, that self-sufficiency, that independence where they can get up in the morning and do what they need to do without the assistance of another person. If that one thing is a vehicle, then they are going to be referred to us by that partner agency, and we are here to assist that person in receiving a safe and reliable vehicle.
Yeah, and that's, there is nothing better than being at Second Chance's Garage for one of those handover days where that person receives a vehicle and you can tell immediately the relief on how this is going to positively affect their lives. Now, the thing is, we can't do that without the generosity of the people of Frederick. So, Barbara, let's ask and beg and plead. What do we need from the people of Frederick?
Cars, cars, and more cars. Our whole organization, the lifeblood of what we do, depends on donated cars. So if you have a car that you're not quite sure what you're going to do with it, it's no longer, in your ability to drive it, but it is definitely still a nice car. It just needs a little TLC. We'll take that car. We'll take it. I don't care what the mileage is. I don't care what the condition is. We will take that donated car. So first and foremost, we need cars.
Yes, we do. And my husband and I donated a car recently because actually what happened was we had it at the mechanic, and it was probably the second or third time it needed to be fixed, and it needed a repair that we just weren't willing to invest that extra money in. So we bought a newer car to us and passed that one along to Second Chance's Garage. And the great thing for you as an individual in donating is you get a nice little tax write-off for that. Second Chances provided all the paperwork we needed to do that. So that was fabulous. And then because of those cars, then we also have a used car lot, right, Barbara?
We do. Right here, we're located on North Market Street between 5th Street and 6th Street. And we have a car lot that has Maryland State inspected cars for sale. We sell them at a very reasonable price. And that is the second way that we use those cars that are donated. So we have been voted the best used car dealership in Frederick for many years. And we take great pride in that we know that we are giving somebody in Frederick County, come on in, buy it, and it's a safe and reliable Maryland State inspected car.
And that's right. And that used car lot is open to anyone. There are no restrictions. If you see a car on that lot that you want to purchase, we welcome you to do that. And then to just keep us in mind when you want to donate that car down the road, because we can probably give it additional life with someone else, which is excellent. All right, Barbara, we've got some fundraisers coming up. What is happening on the calendar?
Later today, absolutely. We are doing a fundraiser with Old Mother Brewing Company, which happens to be our neighbor. We're at 528 North Market, and they're at 526 North Market from 4 until 8 o'clock today. Come on in, join us for a happy hour fundraiser. And Old Mother Brewing is going to be donating proceeds from the sale of everything that is sold between 4 and 8 today to Second Chance's Garage. So that is one way that you can come in, celebrate us, learn about us, and hopefully learn how you can additionally support us. Not only are we going to be having some fun and, having a few cold ones with our friends, we've also been blessed with a couple of our sponsors giving us some really, really cool raffle prizes. Rice Tire has blessed us with a really nice Yeti cooler. And if you know anything about Yeti coolers, they're top of the line. So we have one of those that we're going to be raffling off. And then we also have a $100 gift card from Tasting Room here in Frederick, also located on Market Street. And we are selling raffle tickets for those at this event. They're $10 a piece, and 100% of those proceeds goes to fuel our programs.
That's right. So if you want to go out, hang out with your friends, you might as well do it at Old Mother with us from 4 to 8 p.m. tonight. And if you can't make it, that's okay. Go to the website, and there is a donate button if you want to help. There's instructions on what to do if you want to donate a car. But everything you do with Second Chances comes right back into the Frederick community. We only serve people in Frederick County, and that way every dollar that is raised is staying right here. Any last words for everyone, Barbara?
Well, thank you again for having me. And yes, we have Last year, we hit some milestones, and I just want to give a few statistics. We received 300 cars from the Frederick community donated to us. Of those 300, we were able to help 38 families in Frederick County to receive a car from us, and they're now able to be, as I said before, independent. We also have a low-cost car repair program. We are a working garage. So if you're within those ALICE guidelines, we also help you with low-cost car repairs. So we appreciate any and every type of funding, any and every type of in-kind donation you make, such as a car donation. We will put it to good use, and all of that helps Frederick County members in our community.
That's excellent. Thank you, Barbara. I'll put the website up on the screen for you guys to refer to, but either visit Second Chance's Garage in person. You can come tonight. You can check out the car lot and see what's on there, or come see us at Old Mother 4 to 8 p.m. tonight to help raise funds for Second Chance's Garage. All right. Hope to see you guys out there. It's going to be fun, and it's a great program, and it's a great organization. So if you're looking for something to support and you have, maybe a parent's vehicle, or again, if you're taking your car to a service station or your car repair shop and it's just too expensive, you don't want to put any more into it, and you don't think you're going to get much back from a trade-in for it, please consider Second Chance's Garage. All right, there are tons besides the Second Chance's Garage event that is happening. There is tons going on in Frederick. I'm telling you, this weekend is going to be wild as well. Okay, Thursday evening, it is the Everything Frederick and More Karaoke for a Cause to benefit SOS Safe Ride, who's celebrating 8 years. They're helping to put an end to drunk driving in Frederick County, and you can help too by coming to sing your favorite song in the name of charity. SOS Safe Ride is also Bushwallers Charity of the Month, meaning that for the entire month of April, you can further support the mission by adding a donation for Safe Ride to your Bushwallers receipt when you leave. And if you take that receipt with you, your ride home from SOS Safe Ride is free. Just please take care of your drivers. Battle of the Bands is coming on Saturday, 3 to 7 p.m. I think that rain's going to clear out in the morning, so it should be a great day. Chilly. I'll be in my sweatshirt and probably coat. I'm one of the judges. There's going to be 6 bands. It is an all-ages, family-friendly event. I'm going to be talking to Gerard hopefully later today. We're trying to get our schedule sorted so he can tell exactly what's going on there. On Sunday, the America 250 is happening on Carroll Creek Amphitheater. It is a history fair. You're going to be able to walk through and see how Maryland, and particularly Frederick County, played in the birth and development of our nation. There's going to be reenactors, and many are going to be in period attire. And we're going to hear from the organizers of that event this week as well. And on the 30th, the grand opening of the home of Everything Frederick. So it's in real life. You're going to be able to come hang out at the home of Everything Frederick and More. And it's also going to be the home of the Goddess Group of Real Estate. We invite you to the ribbon cutting and grand opening. It is on 4:30 at 4:30 with a happy hour to follow. We've got food as well. It's going to be a great time. The link to these and many more events right on the Everything Frederick calendar. All you have to do to get that is text the word calendar to 888-465-2944. And if you have an event you want included, all you have to do is email it to me, everythingfredericklive@gmail.com. Whew, that was a good one. 54 minutes. We came in pretty good, under an hour. Don't forget about today's giveaways. We've got tons of great stuff for you, including Good Morning Frederick t-shirt and $25 gift certificate to get your car's windows tinted. Of course, we've got tickets to the Flying Cows. We hope to see you at a game this weekend. They're 11-1. So much fun to watch. And if you've got a child who's interested in basketball, please bring them to this game. The players love to interact with the kids, actually even sometimes during the game, but certainly they can meet the players after the game and they've all been wonderful. All right, tomorrow we are back. Melissa from SHIP. We talk to Tiffany with Pet and Home Care, and we'll find out more about that America's 250th History Fair. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and get those notifications so you don't miss an episode. Up until then, be sure to search for Everything Frederick Live on TikTok, and you can follow me on TikTok at Dani, just Dani. Whew, get out there. Be great, Frederick. Happy Tuesday.